Hands on hips and step your feet wide, heels wider than toes. Ground down through the inner feet and draw up the musculature of the legs from the ankles to the knees to the hips, and then lift the low belly, lift the waist, stretch the arms out to the sides, widen the collarbones. Take the heads of the humerus bones back in space. In other words, take your shoulders back towards the back of the shoulder sockets. Spread wide through the arms. Extend your elbows and your knees fully. Take your thigh bones back. Take your inner thighs back. Lift the back ribs. Lift the side ribs and the front ribs. And let the upper buttocks relax down. Breathing here. And then take your hands to your hips and step your feet together. Now we'll practice what I call the Prasarita dog. So have your blocks ready in front of you, and then step your feet wide so that your heels are wider than your toes, thighs rolling in, muscles of the legs engaged and lifting up, thighs pressing back. Lift the low belly, lift the side ribs, shoulders back, lift from under the heart, and then exhale and fold yourself forward, taking the hands to the blocks. Keep your legs very active and very tall. Keep lifting the backs of the legs as you slide your blocks forward, taking your upper body into a down dog position. Pull the outer hips up and back, pull the inner thighs back. Stretch your hands and arms forwards as you let your head release down between the arms. Think of the thoracic spine deepening towards the chest. Abdomen is long, and the front of the spine, the anterior spine, is very elongated here. Stay lifted in the fronts and backs of the legs evenly. Stay grounded in the inner feet. Press your hands into the blocks and release the top of the head down. Stay open and relaxed and lifted in the back of the throat. Let the abdomen recede and lengthen. Breathing here. And then walk your hands back so the blocks are right under the shoulders, and then walk your feet a little closer. Bend your knees, hands to hips, shoulders back, and lift the chest to come on up. And then step your feet together. Now we'll practice Upavishta Konasana and have 2 blocks and 2 blankets with you here. Stack up your folded blankets as you see here, so you will be sitting on the corner of the blankets, and have 1 block in front of you and 1 block behind you, like you see here. And then sit on the corner of the blankets and stretch your legs out to the sides. And now use your hands on the blankets to lift yourself up and get your buttocks more behind you. So this is important. Pull the flesh of the buttocks back so that you feel like you're sitting more on the front half of the sitting bones. So you don't want your pelvis tucked under you at all. So the buttocks is pulled back. And then hands on the blankets, fingertips pressed down, shoulders back, lengthen the trunk, lengthen the rib cage, lengthen the spine. Lift the spine from bottom to top and balance your head right over your pelvic floor, and start to straighten the legs, extending the legs even more, grounding the thighs down. So the inner thighs are descending. The feet are active. And now start to twist to the left, taking the right hand onto the block in front of you and the left hand onto the block behind you, keeping the legs firm, the inner thighs grounded, the tops of your thigh bones grounded, the low belly lifting. Twist the belly, the rib cage, the shoulders. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to deepen the twist. Press down into the front half of the sitting bones. Twisting all the way to the other side. Left hand on the block in front of you, right hand on the block behind you, and turning. Grounded in the tops of the thighs, lifted in the low belly. Turn the belly to the right, turn the rib cage to the right. Turn the right ribs back, left ribs forward. And then release and come back to center. Once again, press your fingertips down to lift the trunk again, staying grounded in the legs. Breathing here. And then bend your knees to come out of the pose. Now we'll do a version of Virasana, seated pose. Open up your blanket onto your mat like you see here. And place your block onto the blanket and then come onto your shins with that block between the feet. Rest the top of your head onto the sticky mat and use your hands to pull the calf muscles down towards the Achilles tendons and out to the sides so that your thigh bones can sit down between the shins and the calves went lateral, so there's room for the thighs to sit down. And then pull the skin of the shins forward and pull the flesh of the buttocks back so that you can really sit on the center of the sitting bones. Make your adjustments here. Make sure that your feet and toes are pointing straight back. Rest your hands on your thighs. Feel the natural curves of your spine here. The head balanced right over the pelvic floor. Breathe up and down your spine here. Create a little lift from the low belly. And then interlace your fingers and press your palms forward. And lift the hands up to the ceiling. Take the arms back and keep the waist pulling back as the arms go back. So you want to avoid the belly swinging forward as the arms go back. The belly should recede back. The elbows pull in towards each other. The hands press up. The lower belly lifts. The thighs are grounding down. And then exhale and lower your arms down and switch the interlace of the fingers. Press your palms forward and pull the abdomen back and lengthen the abdomen as you lift the arms back and lift the palms to the ceiling. Long in the waist. Let the arms be an extension of your waist. Press the shoulder blades forward into the rib cage, but let the abdomen settle back and lengthen. The roots of the thighs are grounded. Breathing here, getting grounded through the sitting bones as you inhale, and soften and open the soft palate, the back of the throat as you exhale. And then lower your arms down and rest your hands on your thighs. Now we'll practice happy baby pose. So start laying down on your back, knees bent and feet flat, pelvis and spine neutral, long spine, breathing here. And then bring your knees into your chest and have your knees wide. And then kick your heels up towards the ceiling and grab onto the outer edges of your feet with your hands. Kick your heels away from the sitting bones to keep the backs of the knees open and let those thighs hug your outer rib cage. And breathe and relax here, and you can do some playful movements like pulling your right knee down towards the armpit and then pulling the left knee down towards the armpit. Let the lower back release and relax. Press the inner feet up towards the ceiling. Stay long in your spine here. Let the abdomen recede and lengthen, so no hardening or pushing in the belly at all. Bring your knees back towards your chest, grabbing onto the knees. Bring your legs back down, feet coming to the mat. And then start to elongate and stretch the legs and reach your arms overhead. Just creating some length here. Rolling the thighs in, stretching the inner feet forward. Lengthening the belly. Deep breath. And then release. Now we'll practice a lovely, simple version of Supta Baddha Konasana without any props. So lay down on your back and adjust the flesh of your buttocks so it moves away from the lower back. And then bring the soles of the feet together and the knees open. And we'll do this with no support so that gravity is your prop here. Gravity is what's helping you and informing you in this pose. See if you can just surrender your legs to gravity. And let your shoulder blades slide down your back and then stretch your arms out in a Shavasana position so that you can relax here. Let your trunk and spine be long. See if you can breathe here with your whole body. Relaxing the pelvis and the buttocks, relaxing the groins. Feel where your body is making contact with the floor. Contact with the sticky mat. And then start to lift your knees up. You can use your hands to help you if that feels right. Feet flat. And then roll over to your side to come on up. And now come to the floor for a posture that I call neutral. It's a supported neutral position. So make a loop in your strap and step your feet into that loop and then place a block between the feet. And then you'll begin to tighten the strap, but leave enough space so that you can now place the other block between your knees, and then tighten the strap around the centers of your thighs so that your legs are very supported here in a neutral parallel position, thighs strapped together, block between the knees, block between the feet. So you're very parallel in your legs, and then lay down, release the flesh of the buttocks away from the low back and reach your arms overhead along the floor and start to breathe length up and down your trunk. Let the abdomen relax and settle and lengthen. See if you can create length in your belly as you relax the pelvis down. Let your femurs relax and settle. The femurs are the thigh bones. So let the thigh bones relax here as you're all strapped in and supported. And then change the position of the arms into more of a relaxation position. So arms more by your sides, palms facing the ceiling, shoulder blades settled down your back. Relax here as you breathe length into your spine. Smooth, steady breath. And just feel your pelvis here in neutral. So not tucked and not arched, but there's a neutrality to the pelvis, the legs, and the spine here. And see if this neutrality can support an open breath. And so the bottom ribs open just as much as the middle and top ribs as you inhale. And exhale. And then inhale again here. And a smooth exhalation. Continue to bring your attention inside. And then bring your knees towards your chest. Remove the block. Take your legs out of the strap loop. And come out of the pose.